Urban agriculture has been regarded as a popular strategy for sustainable urban development around the world after the expansion of metropolitan regions since 20th century.
Create these urban farms, rooftop farms in places where people live. Simply by having the proximity, we're able to make urban farming part of their lifestyle.
There are different categories of urban agriculture. With the city development into compactness, urban rooftop farming gradually emerged in many high-dense cities. As the marginal concept between urban agriculture and green roofs, the current understanding of urban rooftop farming is insufficient, which causes issues. Does the relative small-scale urban rooftop farming is cost-efficient enough to offset the pressure of increased urban population and land shortage? Why the development of urban rooftop farming in cities is delayed? The gap exists between top-down policy attentions and daily regulatory supports. These issues are resulted from progressed understanding of the motivation of participants from food production to environmental greening and more recently to generating social values. The intangible social value is still blurred and less concerned. As the city continues to grow, we need to take a new perspective. Therefore, this thesis attempts to rethink the role of urban rooftop farming, demonstrate the potential of the social value by investigating, verifying, and quantifying. Instead of a traditional design project, this research utilized a mixed social science method developed into 3 phases: a social value framework from wide literature, a synthesized strategic typology catalog in local context, and a reinvented evaluation system of urban rooftop farming would be made. In the end, research findings would be discussed with potential effects to inform government policies and local community actions. First, in the phase 1, considering that urban rooftop farming is an interdisciplinary marginal concept, I investigate the social value through 3 levels. Different levels of knowledge help me to structure the social value framework, which contains 6 factors and detailed indicators to make it more operational. Phase 2, it aims to look at the reality by the lens of policies, geography, and physical forms of urban rooftop farming. As mentioned before, the policy support is missing in Hong Kong.
我们的这个存在都在一种叫灰色的地带。
Hong Kong government started the Green Campaign. However, it is until 2011 Sustainable Building Design Guidelines officially includes green roofs as compulsory greenery, with large amount of urban rooftop farming booming up after 2010. New Agricultural Policy 2014 first lists urban rooftop farming as an example of modern agricultural mode that not only for food production but benefits to social well-being. Response to the latest Hong Kong 2030 Plus strategic planning, the government started to realize the social benefit towards creating sustainable living environment in high-dense cities. In contrast, the geographic conditions of urban rooftop farming in Hong Kong is superior. 75% lands in Hong Kong are kept relative nature status, reserved as nature conservation areas or country parks. 63 non-urban rooftop farms are concentrated in the small amount of urban areas. Diverse farming types also appears in the rooftop. Most of them are open soil farming, where farm spaces are divided into individual planting plots and rented out to general public. Strategic typology catalog is developed through decomposing the rooftop farm into key parameters to show the variation and complexity. To further clarify the relationship between social values and possible influential factors, Kwun Tong District is selected as a focused area. It is the densest district. Large amount of abandoned roof spaces and reactivating plans by district government made that area a great potential for urban rooftop farming development. There are 6 known rooftop farms in Kuntung. Most of them are located in the transformed industrial buildings. They can be divided into 3 operational modes with identity physical natures. The enterprise-oriented urban rooftop farms are owned by private companies. They are small-scale fixed or built-in farm, which main purpose is providing leisure spaces for employees and limited to the general public. Social enterprise-oriented urban rooftop farming is more universal in existing Hong Kong. Hundreds of rented planting plots are located on the limited roof spaces. Paid courses and trainings are provided to the farmers. The third type is individual-oriented practices, which usually retrofitted from residential buildings. They are the most small-scale rooftop farms in Hong Kong and the most vulnerable ones. Drawn from previous understanding of local context, this research further conducts Phase 3 to revalue the social benefits through questionnaire survey and cost-benefit interview. The questionnaire is designed to follow the logic of willingness to pay, interviewing subjects' willingness to pay based on a hypothetical built environment. The answer will be influenced by 3 variables, and people are required to evaluate detailed social values developed from the previous framework through 5 attitudes. In total, 108 answers were collected. Overall, after integration of previous phases, this project proves the fundamental hypothesis that social value is the intangible but important aspect of urban rooftop farming, which attracts people to involve in. More importantly, the research revalues the potential of social benefits of urban rooftop farming from 3 aspects. First, in terms of monetary influence, 87% of people are willing to pay for using urban rooftop farming service. The average price they're willing to pay is 220 Hong Kong dollar per person per half square meter. If to multiply district population, it can estimate the district profits from urban rooftop farming. Moreover, when it combines with the existing cost-benefit analysis, using City Farm Kuntung as a prototype, if using the basic level calculation, the cost in total is 730,400 Hong Kong dollars first year. With the existing growth benefits, the existing payback period is about 38 months to balance the cost and benefits. If involving in the social value I got from the questionnaire, the most important payback period can be shortened to 26 months. It is much shorter compared to traditional green roofs and urban agriculture. The monetary influence demonstrates that urban rooftop farming is a significant and profitable investment in the long term. Second, the spatial influence of social values has been proved by investigating the travel behaviors of users through questionnaire. Most of people are willing to spend 10 to 30 minutes to come to urban rooftop farms. It reflects that they perceive urban rooftop farming as a district-level service, which against the previous empirical understanding that it should near the house or community. Moreover, half of people are not live in the same district with the rooftop farm they participated. The service catchment of urban rooftop farming has already reached all the major urban districts in Hong Kong. Third, the applicable influence is proved by its multifaceted insights. 5 skills social value perception were developed from the questionnaire. So, it further develops previous framework from literature into Hong Kong context. Different color lines represent 5 attitudes of perceived social values. The gray area represents the total grades. The fluctuation proves that people perceive social values as a complex integration. Moreover, there is a disparity of highly perceived values and less perceived factors. It reflects that the products of rooftop farming for now is centered more on the individual's personal experience and less associated with their attitudes towards broader consideration, which are indirect conceptual value.
Developing leadership, it needs to be slightly more organized. Let's say you have a group of people coming together and they organize among themselves. Actually, there is probably leadership, or there's a community bond that's being built, but they may not realize it.
The disparity is also rooted from the physical nature of existing urban rooftop farming practice in Hong Kong. Urban rooftop farming is a passive social activity that creates social values not directly from collaborative activities, but from the byproducts brought by the individual farming, such as talking, walking side by side, standing, and comparing. This can be a new mechanism of sharing and increasing the cognitive of social solidarity. Based on the previous thesis, final suggestions are summarized in 3 perspectives. To sum up, the reinvented valuation system in the research can be used to drive the city plan of urban rooftop farming in the future, change the perception of social value not only as a simplistic label, but view urban rooftop farming as a shared public venue and a platform of cultural exchange.